up, Kryptonians? Another episode of Titans has come and gone. It aired this past Friday. It is Saturday now, and I finally have a chance in the middle of all this holiday cheer to talk about it. And by the way, happy Thanksgiving to anybody out there that I have not wished happy Thanksgiving to. I hope you guys have had a good time, a fun time stuffing your face and having fun with family. I've had some food, but I haven't really thrown down yet. Like, I haven't gotten into it. We're having a thing tonight. I'm gonna have a chance to really get down to the grub. In other words, my food babies are not born yet, okay? I have not gone into labor. I plan on going into labor tonight. My pregnancy will be glorious. I don't want any drugs to take away the satisfaction of my food babies. I definitely have that to look forward to. My contractions are actually kind of close together now, the closer I get to eating the actual food. So, you know, it's one of those things I have to deal with. Let's just put the food babies aside and let's actually talk about what we're really thankful for, Titans. Because Titans is awesome and it's something that people should be thankful for, you know, if they're actually watching the show. At the end of the last episode, Corey was talking to Adamson, the handler guy that they've held prisoner in Batman's safe house this whole time. He essentially said, look, if you want answers, I'm gonna have to talk to Raven by myself. Nobody else. I'm not talking to nobody else. Get me Raven. AKA Rachel, which I guess people have been getting on me about since the beginning of this series because I keep calling her Raven. People, I know her name is Rachel. It's just, it's habit. It's instinct. I can't help it. I call her Raven because I know her as Raven. Doesn't mean I don't know that her name is Rachel or that they call her Rachel in the show. It's just a personal thing with me because I'm stupid, okay? Just let me be stupid, alright? Don't judge the stupid. Let me stoop in my own stupidity, please. I think that would be best for everybody involved. Raven has a conversation with this guy, and this guy's like, hey, your birth mother? Guess what? She's not dead. In fact, we have been keeping her hostage this entire time at our headquarters. To which, of course, Raven goes to Dick and Corey and the rest of the crew, and she's like, okay, why don't we just, we need to go rescue her. That's my mom. We need to get her back from these people. They've been doing God knows what to her for how many years, and I'm not gonna let this shit slide. Corey and Dick, of course, are against it because they're like, we don't know what we're getting into. We don't know what kind of defenses this organization might have. We don't know what security's like. We should recon the place first. And that's what they should do because, again, this series has done a good job in the short time that this team has been together at establishing that Corey and Dick are basically the parents of the group. Gar, of course, he brown noses for Corey and Dick is like, oh, yeah, I totally agree with them. Yeah, Raven, we can't go right now. Then later on, he goes to her privately and he's like, oh, yeah, I totally agree with you. I just said that so that they'd get off my back. That is a good big brother right there. I gotta give Gar some extra love for that. But then, of course, they do the stupid thing that they shouldn't have done. They go out and they try to find this address and they try to rescue Raven's mom. Why do they do this? Well, because they're teenagers and because this mistake leads to the rest of the episode, so it has to be in here. You guys know this. You guys, I'm sure a lot of you have been teenagers before. I allegedly have been a teenager who has done allegedly some stupid shit. So what do? They do some stupid shit. I don't know why they couldn't have just waited to recon the place, but they were just like, no, we need to go now. So fuck it. I guess that's the rest of the episode. They go to this address where he said that they're keeping her mom, and of course, Gar and Raven get captured pretty easily outside the gates. They don't even really get a chance to get into the building before they get snatched up. Corey and Dick, of course, have to follow them because they have to get them back. But once they get there, they get captured too. This organization has Gar and they have Raven, and they're threatening to like do shit to them. So they're like, okay, we give up. Adamson then turns up at this facility and he's talking to Raven later on in the episode, and it makes me curious. Did Dick and Corey actually take this guy with them? I'm assuming they brought him with them when they went to this facility and they just like, I don't know, kept him locked up in the car. Otherwise, it begs the question as to how this organization figured out where he was being held and how the hell they got into a Batman safe house to get him out of it. And the logical explanation is that they just brought him with them and they just left him in the car because, you know, it's easier to think of it that way. What follows the rest of the episode is really just a series of torture sessions. We start with Dick Grayson. Dick is being mentally tortured. It's kind of interesting because he shows he's got that Batman willpower that Batman is so famous for. All their drugs are not really working on him the way that they should be working on a normal human being. At least his heart is being affected, but his mind isn't. So they just keep increasing the dosage and increasing the dosage until Dick does eventually get trapped inside his own head. That's probably the most interesting of the torture sessions that we get for the rest of the episode. The focus on Dick and his whole trauma that he's dealing with his younger self. When you get inside Dick's head, you find yourself in the Batcave and you realize that Dick is fighting a younger version of himself. Well, okay, he's not really fighting. The younger version of himself is beating the shit out of him. His younger version just keeps yelling at him and blaming him for everything. If there was ever a metaphor for self-hatred in this show, Dick Grayson in his arc in this episode confirms that shit. It's kind of weird that we never see Dick Grayson get out of it. Like, we don't really go back to that area after they show us what's happening in his head. So, I don't know. It would have been kind of interesting to see how he got out of it and how it leads to the end of the episode where he's basically not Robin anymore. But I don't know. That's just a small nitpick, I guess. We get to the rest of the characters. Gar is being tortured, is getting electrocuted. Corey is being tortured. She's been strapped to a table. They're cutting her skin to try to figure out how fast can she heal, and they're trying to find out other stuff about her. Raven, of course, is talking to Adamson, and Adamson is basically like, look, we just want to reunite you with your father. We want to bring your father here. We want to save the world. We're not about to destroy the world. Raven, of course, doesn't trust him because finally, for the first time, time, the teenagers in this episode make a smart decision. She healed his neck, I guess, when he tried to demonstrate her healing powers in that cell at the Batman safe house. She healed him because he used something in that cell to cut his neck open, but I guess at this point in the episode, she's just tired of all that shit, and she's just like, no, I'm about to undo everything I just did. She opens up his cut, and Adamson dies. Let's be honest, it's been a few episodes too late for Adamson. I mean, he should have died a few episodes ago, that's all I'm saying. I don't think a lot of people are going to be shedding tears for him. Raven gets a chance to free her mom, and it's actually kind of an interesting thing seeing her meet her mom for the first time. At first, her mom is just like, no, this is clearly bullshit. This is just another trick that the organization is using. But no, she has a tattoo that apparently only Raven would have from birth. There you go, and it's kind of a nice, tender, sweet moment, and they hug, and it's all nice, but we don't really get much interaction with them beyond that initial greeting, because Raven recognizes what's important. I gotta get the rest of my friends out. We have to get out of this place. So she and her mom go to free Gar, and this was really the only holy shit moment of the whole episode. Some other doctor breaks in, and he tries to attack Raven and her mom, and Gar just goes full ape shit, no pun intended. Or I guess he goes tiger shit. It's not really ape shit, it's tiger shit because he can only turn into a tiger at this point, but it's semantics, I guess. Point is, Gar attacks the dude, and he doesn't just attack him. Like, we've seen Gar transform into a tiger and use his teeth to throw people. This one, he's not just throwing somebody around. He throws the dude around, and he is, like, savagely attacking him and biting him, clawing him, doing whatever the fuck he wants. The dude is basically a bloody pulp in the middle of the floor at the end of it, and Gar just transforms back into a human. He's just sitting there looking at it like, oh my god, I can't believe I bit him. I feel like this is an important bit of character development that we're going to see pay off later down the road. For this episode, they don't really deal with it beyond that one scene, but still, it was a pretty brutal, epic-ass scene. I was sitting there cringing watching it. So then they finally rescue Corey, they finally rescue Dick, and then they're on their way out of it. The whole time I'm sitting there thinking, like, does this facility not have security? Like, do they not have security cameras? Do they not have... like, where is everybody? Finally, they run into a hallway, and it's a hallway full of dudes, and they're just like, no, you're gonna have to get through us. And it's kind of funny, instead of the whole group trying to attack at once and take them out quickly, the episode decides, nope, this is Dick Grayson's moment to shine, and he takes out all of them in really brutal fashion using like a crowbar or something. And Corey blows the facility up, and it's kind of funny because his Robin suit was also caught in the blaze. So then we cut to a shot outside where the whole team is outside, and Corey and Dick are looking down at his costume, and his costume is in flames, it's burning up. At that point, you realize Robin has been such a huge part of his life for so long, he's having a tough time letting it go, and this is the moment, the actual moment in the show where I believe he can finally say, I've moved on from Robin, I'm letting it go. Which means very, very soon, possibly in the next episode or two, we're gonna get a new persona, a new identity from Dick Grayson, and it's gonna be Nightwing, and it's gonna be fucking glorious. I'll be honest, guys, this episode felt more like filler. It felt more like one of those episodes that has to hold everything in place until the story gets to move forward. The biggest character arc in this episode dealt with Dick Grayson, honestly. I do hope at this point we can start transitioning into the bigger storylines. We can start answering questions about Corey and why she was looking after Raven. We can get deeper into this mysterious organization that's after Raven. We can get more answers about Raven and her father, which of course we all know it's Trigon at this point. Maybe not as good as the previous episodes that have come before it, and I still look forward to next week where apparently Wonder Girl is coming to Titans. Alright guys, those are my thoughts on this episode of Titans, so tell me, what did you think about it? Put your thoughts in the comment section below. Like and subscribe to the Superfan Show, and as always, if you like what you see, tell me how you feel, and stay tuned to hear more from the Man of Steel. Peace!